Anybody remember Terrell Farnsworth? And when we said that was weird, they said it wasn't weird. And now Erica is basically going, who would record themselves in an active shooting? This is Terrell Farnsworth, doesn't know how many shooters there are, doesn't know what's going on. Seconds. This is not even a minute after Charlie hits the ground and he's behind him, and he recorded himself. Take a listen.
They just shot Charlie. They just shot Charlie. They just shot Charlie. They just shot Charlie. He's dead. God help him.
I'm just pointing out irony. That's all. I know I'm going to get crushed for that. How dare you remember? I go kind of spending a lot of time on this case, and it's part of the bizarre reactions that the public doesn't feel good about. So I just think it's weird to call out journalists for the exact same actions that your team took. That still works for you. Taking down cameras. All that's a bit weird. But if they started taking down cameras, you might think it was a little weird. Anyway, another part, which there's this random push coming from the White House, and you're going to hear this from Erica and from the First Lady as well, where I'm just starting to feel like they're coming after the First Amendment, right? And bizarrely, they're going after Jimmy Kimmel, which I'm, again, angry at. This is the second time that they're going to make me defend Jimmy Kimmel. But we can kind of go over the points that she delivered. And yes, there's been immediate backlash. And yes, I am already being blamed for the immediate backlash because it's always somebody else's fault when it comes to Erica Kirk, okay? So the first thing that's weird is the reason that she gives for people asking that question, why did you go to the White House Correspondents' Center? You literally just said you couldn't do your UGA commitment because there were credible threats and you couldn't trust the Secret Service to absolve them. Then you did an event with Trump, which relied upon the Secret Service. And then now you're doing another event, and it's like a press event, right? That actually Charlie hated. He always made fun of the White House Correspondents' Dinner. So why do you feel obliged to show up here? And here is the answer that she provided. Take a listen.
And everyone is asking why I even went to the White House Correspondents' Dinner. And it was because many of the journalists in that room have attempted to dehumanize me. And I wanted to meet some of them face to face, quite frankly. Why have a conversation about me when you can have a conversation with me? So, for example, a journalist from the Daily Mail came up to me. She introduced herself, and she was very gracious. She was saying, "You look so beautiful. I'm so sorry for your loss." To which I replied, "It is so nice to put a name to the face, especially with all of the slander, the lies, accusations that are out there surrounding my husband's murder and myself." And I said to her, "You know what's so interesting? This is my first time at the White House Correspondents' Dinner, and I find it so fascinating, the dynamic that is going on right now, because everyone is all dressed up, and you guys are co-mingling in and out of each other's cocktail parties. And so for one night, you are able to put aside all of your differences for the sake of freedom of speech. And then by Monday morning, things will go back to being an absolute bloodbath between all of you." To which she replied, literally, she said, "I know. Isn't it special, right? Isn't tonight so special?"
Any buyers? Any takers of that? That she went just for the social experiment of it all? And by the way, I know we're not allowed to remember anything she says yesterday, but I'm pretty sure that when she sat down with Caroline Levitt on stage at a Turning Point event, she says that she didn't read the headline, she doesn't care, she's completely removed. We've been told over and over again that she's just not aware of what's going on. Now she's saying, I actually went to this event because I needed to confront these journalists who day in and day out, I actually know their names, which is more than I can say. I actually don't know the names of all the journalists who write articles about me. I don't care to learn about their lives. I actually virtually never give them statements. Like my PR isn't open. You can just go out there and say she doesn't care, she doesn't care, she doesn't care, because I just got tired of answering for things. But that's what we're getting. Now we're getting that she went there and she got dolled up, and it was because she simply just wanted to, and she even went to a pre-party, I believe, right? That was posted as well. But that was just because she wanted, it was a social experiment. Okay. And next she is going to say something that is ironic. Okay. She's going to call out those journalists because that's why she went to just like, I don't like you journalists. She's going to call them out for their reactions to the shooting. Okay. Take a listen.
If you were in that room, you had no way of knowing what the status of the shooter was, how many there were, or honestly, really anything. It was just utter chaos. And so during an active shooting, these journalists are using their phones to find moments to capture for clips. They were so concerned about getting a video in a room with an active shooter that they could have accidentally and quite literally filmed themselves being shot. Many of those people have become so desensitized that fight or flight became secondary to the opportunity of putting themselves into the story, which ironically breaks the number one rule of journalism.
Let me ask you this question, right? When you look at Candace Owens, right? Do you see her like someone who likes to play the victim card or not? Do you see her like someone who will eat her cake and want to have it back? Because when I look at her, I think that she is a very powerful lady. She is very intelligent, and I think that she can handle her own situation in a very nice way. I also think that she is going through a lot. Like, there are so many people suing her left, right, and center, but she doesn't let that weigh her down. She just keep going, which is very, very nice. Which is very nice. I tell people, right, when you are doing something, especially when you are in this political uh, 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 um, thing, and you are commenting on sensitive issues like politics and religion, it is just a matter of time before people start attacking you. I mean, verbally or in the comment section. It's just a matter of time. When you are talking about issues like these, which are very sensitive, people will push back, people will fight back, people would call you all kinds of names, which it is to be expected because these are very sensitive issues. You all must know that. You cannot eat your cake and have it back. You cannot be in front of the camera every day, every time, and expect no one to attack you or no one to say negative things about you. It doesn't work like that. Someone like Erica Kirk should know this. I think she does, but she is playing the widow card. She is just trying to play into the emotions of sympathizers. She knows very well that the only way she can not have people criticizing her is for her to remove herself in front of the camera. Rather than sitting and talking about things that people might take the wrong way, or that people might hear and be triggered, or people might find it uncomfortable and would slam her in return or will write negative things against her as a way of fighting back, she should remove herself in front of the camera. If she does that, no one will talk about her. If a day comes that she decided to just go quietly, do something different. Maybe not write a book, but maybe start a book club. Or maybe, I don't know, bake cake for her children. Nobody will be talking about her. After 6 months, after 1 year, people won't even know she exists. The only reason she is facing this level of critique is because she is on social media, she is on mainstream media, she is all over the place, every day, every time, and people cannot stomach the hypocrisy. She is crying about security while she is attending events with the most powerful people in the whole world. She complained about threats being made and how she has to take those threats seriously, which I think if threats are being made, she must take them seriously and the authorities must investigate it seriously. Nobody has the right to go around making threat on other people. If she is being threatened, the FBI, the NSA, the all the other security agencies in America should take this very, very seriously. But saying you are being threatened, and that was the reason why you couldn't attend an event with JD, only to be found in another event with the White House press and secretary, and also be found in the White House correspondence dinner. That was really something. And people notice all this. She might think that people find her to be untruthful because they just wanna, I don't know, lash out at her. She might think that people just find her unconvincing or find her kind of like bad for no obvious reason. But there are a lot of reasons why people think she is what they think she is. There's a lot of reasons. And people are very quick to see if someone is not being truthful. People can see through it, like now. So, let me say this one more time to every single person out there who does what we all do. Remember, when you do stuff like this, people will criticize you. People will say all kinds of things against you. If you are as popular as Candice, people will sue you. I think she has like 3 lawsuits currently. I think one from Brian Harper, one from I think the Macrons, and I don't know if the one with the Daily Wire has been resolved or not. These lawsuits can really overwhelm you, and they are trying to bankrupt her. We don't see her crying, right? That is how it is. That is what the whole thing is all about. They will come after you. If you're a small person, they say stuff against you, they criticize you, they lash back at you, which is to be expected because you are also saying things that are controversial, things that are sensitive in nature. So it is only but normal that those people who hear what you say might not like it and they will attack back. It's only but normal. If you are as popular as Candice, as rich as Candice, then they start suing you. That is how it is. I think Erica Kirk should take a lesson from Candice notebook. She has to do that.